Field Rush. Your adrenaline audio. Crosswave. The right hit music mix. Let's go. The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio. 2019.
All the hits. One station.
Bringing you the best mix of the best music. Nothing but the baddest and best music. Broadcasting worldwide. One hit at a time.
Music.
Online.
One station. Hit music. All the hits.
24/7 around the world. Non-stop. This is Crosswave.
To Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, a musical talk show with in-studio guest performers and interesting program features, anchored by the man with many titles: musician, producer, actor, director, YouTuber, filmmaker. Well, the list is long, because he's the man and more. So friends, Canadians, ladies and gentlemen, your Sunday midday fun starts here. Welcome to the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. I'm your host, as always, Scott Dion Brown, and joined, as always, by the best, greatest host in the galaxy.
Regine, Alaina. Good morning, everyone. I did not pay him to say that, so thank you, Scott.
No, you earned it.
Whoa, okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, fun day. Thanks for tuning in. I missed you guys last week, but I am glad to be back.
And it's a beautiful Sunday. It's a beautiful morning.
That's why I'm in yellow.
Yellow, like
Yes.
the sun. It's so sunny out.
It's very nice out. It's been nice all week, so besides a little bit of rain yesterday, but that's okay.
And even the line in Starbucks was shorter than usual. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that was, but it just added to the day.
That's why he's all smiles, because there was no line up at Starbucks.
It's nice. Well, we use you use the order, you place the order online, the mobile order.
On the app, yeah?
Which I've never done before. But wow.
Mind blown.
Just walk in and it's ready. It's just a lovely morning. I'm in a pretty good mood today. Mm-hmm. And let's just start the show.
Yes,
we'll talk about what we did this week, but we'll introduce our guests and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But first, let's just start the show. And of course, we can't start the show without acknowledging some very important people, Regine. Mm-hmm. They are, of course, our executive producers who make the show possible. So let's do that.
What was that?
Today's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by our two executive producers. Regine?
Yes, Scott?
Do you want to find out what your home is really worth?
I could.
Are you buying or selling a home?
Potentially.
Then Jennifer C., Realtor at Home Life Culture Link, is here to help. Call or text Jennifer today at 647-403-8887. Don't deal with just anyone. Speak to a professional. Mm-hmm. Jennifer C. at Home Life Culture Link. To see our current listings, visit homelifeculturelink.com. The Mortgage Godfather is here to give you advice with any mortgage needs you may have, and he will shop to find you the best mortgage. Nino Sai Mecca, mortgage agent. He'll give you an offer you can't refuse. Find out more at mortgagegodfather.ca or call 905-604-6955. Mm-hmm. Thank you so very much to our executive producers who make the show possible.
So thank you to Jennifer and Nino. And if you want to join our group of executive producers and advertisers here on the show, it's easy. All you have to do is email us at radioshowad@gmail.com, and we will be more than happy to hook you up with an awesome deal.
That's right. Get in touch. Advertise on the show. We read the shows. We read the ads live every week, so you can personalize the ads if you've got a sale or a special or something happening in your business that you want to let people know in real time. We can do it live every week. It's a very, very personal relationship you will build with your audience.
And with us.
And with us. So get in touch. radioshowad@gmail.com. And now let's get into the show. So Regine, we had a fun day yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Yesterday, we were invited to host the Bata to Batapreneur event that happened in Toronto this week.
as you guys who follow us week to week have seen them here on our show before. So for those who haven't heard about the event, the concept behind it is helping the youth and the children of today who have an entrepreneurial mindset and have an idea, and they help them bring their businesses to life.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, so we saw some of our friends from Canada Top Choice there, as well as Zaraya, the one that makes the personal Filipino cards.
Yeah,
so
she was on the show, yeah.
We've seen lots of people that we've known in the past, and the amount of creativity behind each and every one of their businesses was amazing.
It was delightful. There was something like, I don't know, 40 kids maybe, roughly. And it's neat. They're all, I mean, the whole concept is to just get kids thinking from an early age to think entrepreneurially.
Yes.
Which is a really awesome thing. And I've never eaten so many corn dogs in one day.
I've never seen anyone eat as many corn dogs as you, Scott, in one day.
One of the businesses was the kids were selling.
But they were healthy corn dogs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine they were healthier corn dogs.
Healthier. Can you really make corn dogs healthy?
Well, basically, they said that the batter itself was a healthier type
like a superfood.
Yeah, there was something there. I can't remember what it was, but there was something.
Whatever it was, Scott ate at least 6 of them.
Mind you, yeah, because the thing is, so like, it's still a hot dog, deep fried, and it is smothered in this delicious cheese sauce.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's healthy. It's healthier
than a pogo.
I think I ate a solid, I'm not sure how many.
You ate at least 6.
At least 6, yeah.
And then you had cookies and...
Yeah.
But I don't blame you because...
The free samples were not... I was not friendly to the free samples.
No. But Filipinos, we love free, so that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. Fine.
I think anybody loves free.
I love free, absolutely.
And so does our guest. So let's introduce our guest.
Let's meet our guest. And I have a bio. Our guest today is a singer-songwriter from Toronto, Canada. Music has always been a part of her life, her voice, her outlet, and songwriting, her diary. After years of being labeled a folk artist, she decided to put down the guitar and focus on telling the story through her main instrument, her voice. This is how her latest album, Willingly, was born. Rather than limit herself creatively with one style, she wanted to show her versatility and experiment with multiple genres of music. With the aid of some incredible musicians, including her writing partner Robert Wilkinson, Alex Purcell of the Purcell Project, and world-renowned trumpeter Brown Minali, she goes from pop to soul to reggae to funk to blues to jazz all in one album.
Jeez.
Willingly deals with learning how to let go. It asks the question, what is it like for us as humans to put everything we have on the line, not knowing what we might get in return? Having just returned from her fall tour, she's now ready more than ever to show the world who she is. Willingly was released in January 2018, is now available on Spotify and iTunes. And for more information, visit SaraWilkinsonMusic.com, because our guest today is, of course, Sara Wilkinson. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, Sara.
Good morning, guys. I love listening to you guys talk.
We banter.
I love it. I love it. It's so positive, so friendly. Thanks for having me here today, guys.
Thanks for coming. So for you guys that don't know, Sara and I actually used to work together. She was the train conductor and I was the birthday party manager.
It's true. I got to rock out with a band for little babies and their parents. It was so much fun.
But it was cute. And I was telling her that, you know when you hear like nursery rhymes and then somehow during the day it's just in your head and you start singing to it? Yeah.
It gets stuck in your head a lot.
It's just there all the time.
What was that song?
The Rockin'
Yes,
Railroad.
that was stuck in my head for like a day, and I'm like, get
all
out.
aboard.
Yes,
I could still do it today.
No. I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
We'll hear some Rock and Railroad later on.
No, we're not.
Yeah, it's I think if you were like performing for kids, you would have enjoyed this event we were at yesterday.
Sounds like it.
It was pretty cool. I mean, I wish there was something like that around. Yeah, when we were younger.
Yeah, I wish we had that.
Yeah, it was just like. It's neat because, you know, the kids are naturally creative and they have all that imagination. And this event just sort of focus you to, like, you know, take those ideas, take those cool things that kids like to do. They like to make stuff. They like to get creative and, like, think, well, you can actually, with a little bit of focus, you can turn this into something that could become a job. I mean, you could make money doing it, you know.
You can be your own boss.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Just getting kids thinking that way. And yeah, what we saw greeting cards. There was one guy who was like a graphic designer. So like he draws and makes these really cool things.
Oh, the girl that had bamboo cutting boards, and she would actually engrave them while you were there. So she's personalizing it. She sold out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Yeah, so you could ask for like, so I think
you could get like the sit down on a cutting board, and she would actually engrave it.
Yeah, by hand. So you could like personalize it, right? Like you get like your initials, or like she would. So what she would do is she was a really nice artist. So she would draw
in pencil.
Like she drew a bunch of like pots and pans hanging, like a really nice design, and then you put like your name or something, and then she goes in with what is it? It's a soldering iron is what it was, but then she was able to carefully go over it, so it's like engraved, like burned into the wood.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, that's such a cool gift. Like you give that to somebody.
We should have literally got a sit down one.
Right? Just having your
serve our guests some fresh, exactly. Chop the corn dogs. And,
But you know, it is cool because there was so many different ideas, and then you go to one kid's table, and he's literally selling all of his dad's old CDs.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so like anything from like the 70s to early 2000s was there on display for sale for $1. And I'm like, these are worth more than $1, but I'll take them.
Yep. There were some, handmade soaps. Handmade soaps.
A little girl and her sister. Yeah.
I love me a good handmade soap.
Yeah, they smell really good.
I love the lavender scented one.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they had like a surprise soap for kids, so they had like a toy in it.
Inside the soap.
So when they lather up,
These little plastic.
So creative.
Yeah.
It was just cool. It was fun. And I mean, like some of the kids were really young. Like the one girl doing the soaps was, I think she was like 7.
Like not even. She was like 5.
Yeah. So then so they had a portion. What was needed? So there were different sections. So like the general show was like a trade show. So it's like you got all the tables. You can walk around.
Right.
Then throughout the day there were like speakers. So they had like older adults who were like in the business world already, come out and give a speech.
Wow.
And then they also had a segment called the Sell It To Me segment, where a kid they were given 2 minutes to basically pitch their business. Their business. So they're encouraged to do that.
That's like Lion's Den? Is that what it's called?
Dragon's Den.
Dragon's Den, yeah.
It was like that. It's like like an elevator pitch type thing. So you have these like little kids come up, 10 years old, 7 years old, and they're like pitching this idea of why their business would be profitable and why it's good. And
why you should buy from them.
Yeah. And then there was also a lot of them had like an environmental angle as well. So like there was the lemonade stand that the lemonade was coming in it was a plastic bag.
Reusable bag.
But it was a reusable bag. So the idea is that you'd finish the lemonade and then you can wash it out and use it for all sorts of things after.
Nice.
But I like the fact too that they made it organic lemonade with alkaline water to give it that twist.
Yep, that's right.
They had a bubble tea stand.
So creative.
There were just so many things. And
But my favorite was the little girl with the soap, because her younger sister, who's probably 3, was just standing there with her for the Sell It To Me, and she's like struggling to open the bar of soap to show everyone.
It's like you saw it was like a 7-year-old, and she's the oldest on the stage because she brought her like 4-year-old sister up, and the two of them are trying to pitch to us why we should buy their soap.
But they sold a lot.
They did sell a lot of soap.
The cute factor works.
It works, yeah.
So it was cool.
That's so awesome that they have that kind of an event for kids to be exposed to that.
Yeah, this was their 2nd year, and I wasn't there last year, but I've said it. Apparently, it's grown, and they're planning to expand it. And I think it's a good program. So anyway, there you go. We're advertising for it because we liked it so much.
There you go.
And we were there, so.
The website is Bata, B-A-T-A, Bata, because Bata means kid or child in Filipino. So the idea is it's Bata to Batapreneur. So Bata, the number 2, Batapreneur.com.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun. I hope we can get involved with them again next year because.
Shout outs to Janet Lim, who is the CEO and one of the main organizers of the event. Kudos to you for such a great event and great concept behind it.
You should get those little girls with the soap on this show sometime.
We should.
Get them to talk, pitch their ideas to you.
But they get so shy. It's hard to really.
Well, it was funny in the elevator pitch part because you had 2 minutes, right? Wow. And then she was kind of running out of things to say. So someone was like, "Let's see the soap." So then she starts opening the package, and it took her like a minute just to get the paper open. So like there was a huge portion of it was just like watching her try to open it, and then she finally gets it open, and she was like,
"Ta-da!"
And everyone was like, "Yay!" It was just really, it was just very cute.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Speaking of ta-da, you have a new album out. Awesome! Congratulations. Here, Scott, can you show it to the camera?
This is an album called Willingly, which we talked about in the intro, but here it is.
There it is.
Camera 2.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, wait, camera.
Oh,
It's
there's
on
camera
you.
1. Camera.
It's on you.
Camera 2.
You could do. Oh, yeah.
There
you go.
Look at that picture.
Dun, 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 dun.
So tell me a bit about this album. So I understand you says it blends many different genres and things. So tell me about
It does, yeah. Well, Willingly was a thing. I'm also into music theater. So I went to school for music theater, and I was doing a bunch of theater in Toronto at the Lower Ossington Theater.
Oh, yeah.
And every show that people are coming to, they have like a playbill, a bio, and it says like, I'm a singer-songwriter, and I realized I'm like, you can't get my music anywhere. And I have like 3 albums, but they're, I was younger, and I didn't really take my time with them. I kind of just threw them out there. So Willingly was my attempt. I was like, okay, I'm going to create a website. I'm going to make my music accessible for people so they can access it. Yeah. And it ended, I was going to take a few months off of music theater, and it took me 3 years to do this album. So as you know, it's quite a long process. I didn't realize what a long process it would be, but I basically moved to the East Coast where my mom lives, and I have a cottage there, and I took a couple months and just wrote all my songs. And then I flew to New York, worked with my writing partner, Robert Wilkinson. We just happen to have the same last name.
I was going to say, are you related?
Wow, that's
he's like my best friend, and when we write together, we are the Wilkinsons. So it's really funny that it was meant to be.
Cool.
So he's incredible. He helped me develop these ideas. I wrote all the music, but he arranged some string arrangements for it, helped me kind of mold and blend it into like a full idea. So I got a band, I got a producer, I had an incredible sponsor, and we recorded it. And then we ended up re-recording it and editing it and mastering it while I was in Europe, traveling around. I went to Thailand for a bit, and so I was editing it while I was on the fly. I moved back to Toronto last year and finally got to actually release it. So it's been quite a long process, but I was going through a big breakup, and it was kind of just like changing my world around. It made me look at things, and the Willingly comes from the last song on the album. It's called Unguarded, and I wanted to name the album Unguarded, but Robert, with his brilliant ideas, said, well, what if we didn't name the album after one of your songs? Well, we named it after one of your lyrics. And I was like, oh God, this could take a while because there's a lot of lyrics. But in Unguarded, I say, I gave my heart away and I gave it willingly. But when you give your heart away, there's no guarantee return. So that's what Willingly is all about. And when people ask me what kind of music I write, it's really hard for me to answer it just because I listen to so many styles, and I don't restrict myself with one style. I like to do anything I can get my hands on. So there's an electronic dance tune on it, there's a blues tune on it, there's like a samba tune on it, folk, like I just kind of go all over the place.
A little bit of
really
everything.
Just my
It's
sound.
you.
Yeah,
It's
it's me.
you.
So
You have any
album,
Rock and Railroad on there?
And unfortunately I didn't. I'll have to record that
It's the bonus
for you
track.
personally. Yeah.
super bonus track at the end.
Get the puppets up.
The last track, it's 12 minutes. There's like 4 minutes of silence, and then the Rock and Railroad.
And then the Rock and Railroad. Yeah,
so really
exactly.
fun.
I'll get the band together.
It's an Easter egg. So this album, that's cool. So this album represents, it's a 3-year journey that goes across the world,
Yeah.
across borders, different genres, different styles, emotional roller coasters.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can we hear something from it?
I'd like to hear something.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do the first song on the album. This song is called Eve.
Alrighty.
And what's cool about this song is that when we first recorded the album and then I moved to New York City, this song was not on the album.
Oh.
And when I moved to New York and I wrote it, I came back with my producers and they were like, we have to put this song on the album. So we ended up, basically what we did is we put it as the first song, so it tells my story, and then when you go into the next song, Heartsbreak, it goes back in time and tells the journey of how I got to that point.
I got goosebumps.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's all very theatrical.
Love it.
All right. Here's
So this is Eve.
Eve from Sara Wilkinson.
My mama left my dad when I was little, and boy, did I ever never take it too hard. Search high and low for my true lover, so I would never have to feel the kind of hole in my heart. But of course I have experienced more pain than was in my plans, where I have learned to let things come and go, especially when it comes to romance. So I know you don't know me from Adam. What if I could be your Eve? It all depends on what you perceive. We often miss out on opportunity. We get so scared away too easily. And do you recognize my truth and caught you try to love me unconditionally. We often let our past guide our future, but we never stay in the present. But if we can truly live in this moment, well then that will be a gift in itself. So I extend my hand to you, fellow stranger in the deep blue. Will you join me on this journey and let us see what is meant to be? So I know you don't know me from Adam. What if I could be your Eve? It all depends on what you perceive. We often miss out on opportunity. We get so scared away too easily. And do you recognize my truth and caught you try to love me unconditionally? And won't you love me? Ooh, love me. Ooh, love me. It's okay, it's alright. I will be with you tonight. We all need someone to buoy the world with, and I'll be with you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, if you don't know me, I know you don't, no you don't. But if we can truly, could you love me unconditionally?
Crosswave, the Ragged Music Mix.
Wow.
That live performance was brought to you by Jewelry Forever, conveniently located at CF Markville Shopping Center on 5000 Highway 7 East Markham. They do custom-made jewelry, repairs, and watch batteries, all done on site. Or, Regine, you can shop online. You don't have to go outside. Shop online at jewelryforever.ca, where you can get free shipping with any orders of $149 or more. And was brought to you by the Canada's Top Choice Council, a non-profit organization that is proud to present 3 amazing events held annually that help to grow the community, advance education and self-empowerment, and promote public appreciation for the arts. And they've got their Canada's Top Choice pageant coming up on August
3rd. Yes.
Which will be at the Fairview Library Theater, hosted by
Me! And Scott.
and I'll be there too.
And Scott.
And that's going to be a great event.
It is. I know the girls have been working really hard. I know this because I am with them week to week in their preparation for the pageant. So make sure you get your tickets now. They are available on Eventbrite. So we'll see you there.
Canada's top choice council. Thank you.
Yes.
And now we're back.
Yes.
Lovely song.
Thank you.
Voice.
Jeez, Sarah.
Yeah, I guess that's a little different than the kids'
Yeah.
song.
What is this? Twinkle, twinkle, little.
It was nice. And so that was obviously that was a live acoustic version.
Yeah.
So does the version on the album? Is there a big difference between the two? Or?
Yeah, actually, that is the only song on the album that is just me and my guitar.
Oh,
I do some harmonies and stuff. We wanted to pay tribute to kind of what I used to do with me and my guitar, but I no longer really do. I mean, I do it from time to time, like right now, but I have an incredible band that play behind me, and it allows me to really, I can put down the guitar, and my guitarist is amazing. They're all phenomenal. They all went to Humber for jazz, so they're really technical.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So it's just great. I can just play my songs, and we're in such a good groove from working together for a while now on this album. And so every other song on the album is full band. The next song on the album, Heartsbreak, is with a 3-part string arrangement, violin, viola, and cello. There's quite a lot of other stuff going on. So if I play another song of the album, it would be a live acoustic version, but on the album, it's fully mixed and produced and coming on the radio. So that's cool.
What is your favorite out of all these songs on your album?
Ooh, it's a tricky one. I really do love Eve that I just played. I think it's a really good introduction to like who I am. It gives like a good background story. And I really do love Unguarded. I would have to say My Shoes is my favorite song. It's my blues tune, and it's like I get to wail and rock out, and I love to do that one. So
Would you do that live for us later?
I can do it live. Yeah, it'll just be an acoustic version, but I can totally do it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that one we just heard. I agree when you say it's a good way to introduce, because we just really
we don't know you.
Well, and it's also there's nothing quite like just a singer and their guitar, right?
Yeah.
And the audience is like, here's my voice, here's my song.
Right.
So it's almost its purest.
And it's a cute little guitar.
It is.
This is my Traveler guitar. She's great. It's not you do a really great job at making it sound good.
A little bit of reverb.
Yeah, right. I was like, I like that reverb. No, it's a Yamaha, and it's a good standard guitar. It fits on an airplane. So when I traveled the world and I was working on stuff, I got to bring this everywhere. So it's not like the best quality, but it does the trick. So.
Yeah.
It sounded good. I mean, like the pickups are good.
Pickups great. Yeah, just needs some tweaking, but yeah, my ear, but no, I love this little guitar, and
It's cute.
yeah, it's nice. No, Eve is really cool I literally was like, going on dates and stuff in New York City, and I realized like we all have a past, and when you go out and you meet people, you want them to take a chance on you. Mm-hmm. You're hoping they will, and you ask yourself, can I take a chance on them? And really it kind of just dawned on me like in the bathroom. I literally was like in the bathroom and was like, what's that saying? You don't know me from Adam? And I was like, okay, you might not know me from Adam, but what if I could be your Eve? And I was like, light bulb, and like ran to my guitar, and it just kind of came out.
It came from the washroom, ladies and gentlemen.
Seriously, sometimes you're in the shower, sometimes you're doing whatever, and you're just like, it just comes to you. And that's what I love about a song. Like you try and sit down and write, and you could sit down and write for months and nothing comes, and then all of a sudden you open your mouth one day and it just comes out.
There it is.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, and it tells the story as well of like where I come from,
the
and like
first line in
my
itself.
journey. Yeah, it's like my mom, she's always like, oh, I don't really love that part. I'm like, I'm sorry, mommy.
But you and your mom are close, right?
My mom and I are super close.
I'm sure she understands.
My dad and I are super close. No, it's I was 10. It was a long time ago, and both my parents are very happily married with other people. We're all very, very tight, and we're very close, and it's just my story. It's just how I came to be. So
I should write a song about my parents. They totally hate me for it.
I know my parents. I'm a songwriter, and I'm a very honest songwriter, and I write from my experiences. So my parents are definitely used to that. They know yeah, they're used to it. So this is just me. And I think that it's important, going off of what you guys were talking about yesterday and teaching young kids. Like, I love kids so much because they really are the future, literally. And yeah, they need to be taught, you know, that you should be able to speak your mind. You should say what's on your mind, and it comes from the heart. And yeah, that's what I want my music to be. I want it to be about the music, and I want it to be about like how pretty I am or what outfit I'm wearing. I want it to be about my story and my song, and I want to encourage everybody that they can do that too, and they should. You should. And yeah, absolutely. I was so stoked when Adele became famous because it's just a girl singing on stage with a grand piano.
Yep.
I was like, yes, finally, as a singer, a pop singer, that it's about the music.
Yeah.
About the music, about the voice. Yeah.
About the voice, and that's what I want it to be about. So.
And you're almost there. Well, you are there.
I'm working my way. It's really cool journey. I used to say like, oh, I want to get there someday, and I realize I'm getting there. I'm like, I'm on the path.
Yeah.
So it's good.
So all you listeners out there, make sure you tune into Sara Wilkinson, SaraWilkinsonMusic.com.
Yeah.
Where else can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook as well, Instagram. It's all Sara Wilkinson Music. So just
Let's
type
get
it in.
her there.
Let's do it together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got Scott 2,000 subscribers. We can get Sarah there.
Yeah, I just hit over 2K on Instagram.
Nice.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks,
awesome.
people. You guys are awesome. Couldn't do it without you, you know.
So what are you doing now besides music?
Besides music, my partner and I are living in Richmond Hill at the moment.
Welcome back to Canada.
Thank you. I do a lot of going away and a lot of coming back. So my band and my family are very used to that. But no, we're living in Richmond Hill right now, and I'm working at a restaurant, and I'm teaching music on the side, teaching kiddies how to sing, which is so fun and lovely, and really just getting healthy, staying focused on music. Those are my main goals right now. So this year has been amazing. Like, I've been singing for over 20 years, but this year something just like switched in my brain where I was like, okay, I need to buckle down. And my partner, he's amazing. He's so supportive of my music, and we hit the road in November, and we toured all over Ontario and Quebec. And
Does he do music too?
he's an amazing guitarist, but he's just like getting out there. Like, he's still wrapping his head around the fact that he's like, oh, I'm a musician. Like, yes, you are. But that's a positive thing for having me in his life. So that's really nice. And he's incredible. Huge supporter. You really can't do it alone. I'm sure as you discover as you go on that it's you and it's your soul and it's your song, and it's your music, but you really do need the help of people around you. And I'm so lucky to have the support system that I do. So this year, all of a sudden, I've been like sitting down, meeting other managers and meeting companies and agencies, and just trying to looking at my music from a business perspective, which I never really had.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's important, and but it's fun business. It's my music. It's my soul. So I'm like, this is good. So I resisted it for a long time. I was like, oh man, I hate the whole like self-promoting thing. I just want to sing.
You're so good at it.
Yeah.
I'm getting. Thank
I've
you.
seen your Instagram. You're good at it. Yeah.
I've really turned I've turned a leaf. It's over, and I'm working really hard at promoting myself. But it's hard to talk about yourself.
Yeah.
So
I think especially artists, because artists tend to be very inward thinking, kind of like emotional, like, because it's not necessarily a natural thing to then take this personal thing and be like, hey, look at this, put a big name and a logo on it and be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's kind of, you almost have to do it now, right?
You do.
And it's not something that comes natural, I think, to a lot of artists. So
yeah, exactly. So we're all in it together, and I realize that. And you learn. There's no rule book, right? It's not like being a doctor or something else where it's like, oh, you do this, you go to school for this many years, and you will get this job. With music, it's like, well, you could do this, 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 and this, or this and this, and you might get there, or you might not.
Yep.
So it's just recognizing that, understanding that, and then just not giving up, because it really is a last man standing kind of industry. Just don't stop. Like,
it's true.
Just don't give up. So I'm never going to give up on it. And I'm doing this honestly for that little girl inside of me, that 7-year-old who started singing and was like, know what? I want to be a singer. So I promised myself, I'm like, I'm not going to be like all those other adults who give up on it and eventually get a 9-to-5 job. Nothing wrong with that at all. I totally understand that you do what it takes. Like, that is a whole other incredible thing in itself. But for me, I realized that I had to, I have to do that. I have to do it for my little girl inside of me, because I was really bullied as a kid, and music was my escape. And when I found singing, I was like, oh, so this is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, I'll do this. So I just turned 30 a couple weeks ago, and I'm not stopping.
Birthday.
So keep going. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Can we hear another song?
Absolutely. You want to hear another song off the album?
Any song you want to do.
Whatever I want to do.
Whatever that little girl inside of you wants to do.
Oh, okay.
Not Rockin' Railroad.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's see. What do I want to do? Well, I just wrote a song like a week ago that no one's ever heard.
My goodness.
Would you want to maybe hear it?
I mean,
of
I would love to.
course. It's up to you.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it.
So, Soprano,
Okay.
what's this one titled?
So, the song is called Earn My Honesty.
Ooh.
All right, so here is the world premiere
Yes, it is.
of Earn My Honesty by Sara Wilkinson.
Position. I never thought I would love like this. Oh, I never dreamed that I would be exactly where I wanted to be. And now that dream has become a reality. Take the time to right the wrong. Take the time to write this song. And now I must earn my honesty. Take the time, I've made mistakes. Now I must face my fate. And now I must earn my honesty. Truly it is like to rely on someone you can count on. I never dreamed that I would be exactly where I wanted to be. And now that dream has become a reality. Take the time to right the wrong. Take the time to write this song. And now I must earn my honesty. Take the time, I've made mistakes. Now I must face my fate. And now I must earn my honesty. Take the time to right the wrong. Take the time to write this song. And now you must earn your honesty. Take the time, you've made mistakes. Now you must face your fate. And now you must earn your honesty.
The right hit music mix. Crosswave.
That live performance was brought to you by Intercontinental Consulting Services for Immigration and Settlement in Canada. Find out how you can live, work, and study in Canada. Visit icscanadaimmigration.ca. Come to Canada. Immigrate. Work. Study. Visit. Contact them today for a free assessment. And it was brought to you by Cecile's Line Dance Class. First established in 1998. Great friends of the show, right, Regine?
Yes, definitely.
They've performed. We see them perform all over the city, various events under the name The Dynamic Divas.
I believe they're actually at the Markham Diversity Festival.
Or today. Yeah. So there you go. You can go watch them live. And if you'd like to get involved with them, a great way to get active and get moving and get grooving. They have classes every week for all ages, 3 times a week, every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Beam TV, 361 Wilson Avenue, Toronto. Thursdays from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. at JC's Banquet, 1686 Ellesmere Road, Scarborough. And every Sunday from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. at the Filipino Center, 4395 Shepherd Avenue East. Call now at 647-215-3013. Cecile's line dance class. Line dancing with the twist.
Yes.
Thank you for advertisers.
So again, if you want to advertise on the show, it's easy. Just email us at radioshowad. That's radioshowad@gmail.com.
Correct. Nice. So we're back with Sara Wilkinson.
Girl, that was
Lovely
amazing.
song.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, how long did it take you to write that?
I wrote it in a day. It took me like an hour.
Jeez.
Or so. But it really did just pour out of me. Like,
Yeah.
I laid on the bed and looked at the ceiling and just said, I never thought I would be in this position. And like the chords just came to me and
Awesome.
it just flew. Yeah, it just kind of came out. And then, once you got that verse and that chorus, you're like, okay, all I got to do is write that second verse, maybe a third, maybe a bridge, and just kind of go from there. And yeah, I'm really excited about that one. I played it for my dad and my boyfriend this morning because I had my dad over and he stayed the night. And I said, can I sing you guys a song before we leave? And they were like, sure. So I played it for them. And what I was sharing with them is that all these songs on this album, like I love so much. They're so dear to my heart, but I'm not experiencing them anymore. Like it happened. It's no longer happening. So every time I sing those songs on stage, I bring myself back to how I was feeling a few years ago when I wrote them. And some of the songs in the album, too, were songs I wrote years and years ago that I just felt were really fitting for this one, so I put them on there. Jump is there and Speak. They're both songs that I wrote so long ago and just was like, oh, these are perfect. But this song, the song I just played for you, it's what I'm feeling now.
It's right now, yeah.
So I really, it's so refreshing to be able to sing about how I'm feeling right now in this moment.
Cool.
So that was really, really special for me to be able to articulate it. But I just didn't think about it. You just kind of close your eyes and you do your best work when you're actually not thinking too hard.
Well, it's like you were saying earlier, you could spend all this time trying so hard to pull this one song out, and then every now and again there's one that just, you're in the shower and, there's one.
There it is.
There it is. And
Yeah.
There it is.
Bam. Well, I mean, that was a really lovely song.
It was.
Thank you so much.
So, I hope you get that one recorded, and we'll see that on your next
Another
album.
Yeah, next album for sure. It's so funny because it took me 3 years. I've written so many songs since I released it. So my band and I have been playing a lot of new songs. So there's a full album ready to be recorded. But this time I want to do it live. I want to do like we all play together.
Bring the whole
room.
band in. Yeah.
Just because instead of layering it track by track, the album is really good quality, like such good quality. But I feel like when I'm live, it's so much better just because we're all feeling it together in the room. So that next album will definitely be a live one.
Cool.
So I'm excited for that.
Awesome. So we'll get much more of a feel of how the actual band played. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a totally different feel. I mean, you can produce a song, build it up piece by piece. I mean, the thing is, you can build an album. Well, I write lots of songs that way, where you just one by one, you almost can play everything, or maybe it's a machine playing the instruments for you, and you can build a song that way. You can do a lot of great work. But there's something else about when it's just a band together playing in a moment, right?
Yeah, it's the feeling. You can't capture that when you do it individual tracks, or you just can't. It's impossible. It sounds so good, but there's just something slightly missing, and you feel it right in your heart. Yeah. So I definitely, when we play together live, it's really amazing. So I really, really love having those guys.
So speaking of playing live, so how did you find the difference between like the first time you write a song and it's a personal thing and you're at home writing it?
Yeah.
How does it feel when you finally get in front of an audience and you're like putting those
like
feelings?
Right now?
Yeah, but like in a room, you're on tour.
Yeah.
Finally, sort of getting that feedback from an audience. What does that feel like?
It just feels so good. Like it just feels right. When I'm on stage, I just feel at home. And when I write these songs, I really do. I write them for myself, but I write them so then I can get it out and then I can give it to them. I can give it to all you guys, and you guys can take it, and then I've like, it's healed me. Like it's like kind of like my therapy and my recovery and my diary, and I get it out, and then I've created now a thing that if anybody else is going through that as well, it's like they can relate to it, and they can take it for their own thing. And yeah, it feels good. There's only been one song. I had a really, really close friend of mine who died a few years ago, and it was in Kensington Market, and he was shot and killed, actually, I think, when we were working together.
I remember.
It was a really, really awful thing, and he's so incredible. LaFrank Matthews, what a wonderful man, and he's this incredible, loving, big Jamaican man. He's just so kind, and he was wonderful. And I wrote a song about him, and it took me a long time to be able to do it. I can perform it now for people. I don't perform it with the band. It's just a nice, intimate thing. But sometimes I play shows where it's a big acoustic setting and it's intimate and everyone's listening, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sing his song. But that was the only one for me that took a long time to get there, because I wasn't ready yet. It was too personal. But a song like the one I just played, it's so personal. But I'm a huge advocate to be emotional, to be honest, and I have a heart tattooed on my arm because I wear my heart on my sleeve.
And it's anatomically correct.
It is. It's not just a little draw. It's my heart, because I really do. I do that, and I know we build walls, but that's what this album is all about, especially my song Speak, where you can actually find the music video for it online, on YouTube. I filmed it on the subway.
We'll share it on the page.
Please do. Yeah, it's all about people watching on the subway, and how the fact that we should just be talking to each other, because sometimes you're in someone's armpit and you're not even speaking, and you're just like, hey, yep, and you just don't acknowledge it. I'm like, guys, we're all humans on this planet. We should say, hey, how's it going? Talk to each other.
Talk to the armpit. Hey, how's it
going?
Talk to
the armpit. Or
that is kind of a weird social setup when you think of it. Everybody's standing
really close
tight to each other, and everybody is in their own space.
And I find that now if they are talking to someone, it's to tell them to put their armpits away.
Right.
They're not really nice about it. It's more like, can you cover your mouth when you cough?
But we never put ourselves in other people's shoes, and maybe if someone's like, oh, that person's being obnoxious. It's well, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know. And sometimes you're that obnoxious person, So we're all humans on this planet. I think we should just all recognize that, and we should just break down those walls. So I am a huge advocate for putting your heart on the line and just giving it out there, because I want that from people in return. So I can't not do it. So I gotta do it.
I think that's why it's also important, like you said off the top, how you put these very personal things in your lyrics, but it's because I think that's how other people can be touched by them as well. And like you said, people who hear your songs, maybe they're going through a similar experience, or they're at a similar time in their lives, and they really can feel a connection through that and help them feel better. Yeah. Because even if something you wrote a long time ago, they're hearing it for them, and maybe they're going through that moment now.
Exactly.
Right? So it's special.
It is special. I like it.
That being said, I do find when I'm on the subway, I don't really talk to anyone.
Hey, I'm guilty of it too. I recently took the subway, and I was in my zone playing a game on my phone, and I was like, wow, I do that. It's a natural human thing, but even just to be aware of it, even just go oh, I am doing that. That's interesting. And just check yourself. It's good. We should be checking ourselves. Check yourself. You should be yeah, what am I doing? I'm closing myself off. So, but yeah, it's a human thing. We're all humans. We can't be perfect, so we can try.
Well, we do have 10 minutes left. Can we hear a little bit of Speak?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you were just talking about it, so
I know. We can do Speak. Yeah, we can absolutely do Speak. This is an acoustic version of it, and it's a little bit of a different feel. On the album, it's more of a funky reggae tune. But
can you do it on the guitar?
I can't, unfortunately. So my bass player, Duncan, where are you? He does this really cool boom, 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 boom. He does this awesome riff into it, but I'll just do it for you.
This is the stripped down version.
Yeah.
It's Speak, right?
Speak.
Yeah.
This is the live version of Speak by Sara Wilkinson.
Feel free to get up and dance if you want. subway, I can't help but wonder what we all want to say. All want to say. We are sitting in the silence. Instead of saying hi, we turn the other way. But I want to say, well, get up and speak. Take heart of the day. Take heart of the day. If you got something to say, why don't we get up and say it? Instead of keeping it locked up and hidden away. We'll say anything. Girls giggling in the corner, staring, laughing at a girl in a short skirt and heels. And they are laughing and a sniggering, thinking that they are better than her. A man preaching on the subway, thinking that the cars on the train are his church. And we're all thinking that he's crazy, so we turn off our ears so we cannot learn. But I want to say, well, get up and speak. Take heart of the day. Take heart of the day. If you got something to say, why don't we get up and say it? So keeping it locked up and hidden away. We'll see anything. A woman singing on the subway, trying to make ends meet for herself and her kids. Her husband passed a few years earlier, so it's up to her and her children to earn. Professionals are on the subway, talking about their deals and their business at work. But they get too busy to notice all of the beauty that surrounds this earth. And I want to say, well, get up and speak. Take heart of the day. Take heart of the day. You got something to say, why don't you get up and say it? Instead of keeping it locked up and hidden away. I really just don't understand why we must pretend that others don't exist. 2, 3, 4. This is where I encourage everyone to get up and dance. I don't care if you're in your living room or in the shower. Be careful. And I want to say, get up and speak. Take heart of the day. Take heart of the day. If you got something to say, why don't we get up and say it? Instead of keeping it locked up and hidden away. And I want to say, well, get up and speak. Take heart of the day. Take heart of the day. If you got something to say, why don't we get up and say it? Instead of keeping it locked up and hidden away. We'll say anything, yeah.
The Wicked Music Mix on Crosswave.
That live performance was brought to you by the Sit Down Mug.
Yay!
Get yourself the best mug in the biz. It holds all manner of delicious beverages. And not just beverages. You can put anything in.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Soup.
Who suggested we should use it as a planter? Somebody said that one time?
Someone
Ooh,
said that,
you
yeah.
put a plant in
You can
there.
put a plant in there. All other mugs, the plants die instantly. But this one
Don't do it.
just keeps growing and growing. Maybe. That might be true. I'm not sure.
We should try it.
Anyway, get yours
I
at
love it. That's awesome.
teespring.com/the sit down mug for a delicious, yummy mug. Actually, don't eat the mug. Everything you
Eat
put in
what's
it is
inside it,
delicious.
Just not the plant.
And it was brought to you by Beautified by Romina. Regine, I think you know something about that business.
Yes, of course I do. Beautified by Romina is my mom, Romina. She's an internationally trained hair and makeup artist, as well as a modist consultant, and does custom blend foundation. So make sure if you have any pageants or photo shoots or engagement parties or bridal parties, or you just want to go out and look good and feel good about yourself, make sure you find her on Instagram and on Facebook. Beautified by Romina.
She's fantastic.
I can't guarantee you'll look like me, but she
Damn, girl,
tried.
you look beautiful. So pretty.
She, well, like I've said this already before, but when I came back from vacation and my nose was bright red from sunburn,
Yeah.
because I guess it just washed
You
off on my
just
nose.
didn't put
Yeah.
sunscreen on.
No, I did. It washed off in the ocean. Anyway, I come back and we're supposed to host this event, and it was like a bright red.
And it's
Yeah.
like the color of the microphone.
Yeah, it was like this.
I get it. I Like Rudolph.
Yeah, but she made me look human again. She did.
Nice.
She's actually going to do our makeup next week for the Vaughn Fiesta, which I
That's
think
right.
we should plug in real quickly. So,
yeah.
as you guys know, the Vaughn Fiesta Extravaganza is coming to the city of Vaughn. Therefore, Scott and I will not be on air next week, but
right.
we will be live on stage on July 21.
Correct. Yeah, no show next week because, yeah, that's right, we're going to be live, even more live than this. It's going to be in
Liver.
person.
Yes.
Free parking, Vaughn Fiesta Extravaganza, like next week, July 20th and 21st at the Dufferin Clark District Park. Free event, all day live music, vendors, food.
There it is.
Yummy, delicious, wonderful.
So if you guys are looking for something to do Saturday and Sunday, Saturday they do have Maha Salvador from the Philippines there. And then, of course, on the 21st at 2 p.m., you have Scott and I there with the rest of our friends from the Sit Down.
With a sit-down radio hour, which is the name I just decided to call it right now.
Wonderful.
And a few artists, JDL will be performing. I think Melanie Lazaro will be there, and others. And I'll be there with a band behind me, Symphony of Nine. We're going to rock and roll for a little few songs.
Me too. Just kidding.
And Regine will be...
Regine.
No. I'll be doing Rock and Railroad.
Okay, yeah.
No. I won't be performing, but I will be on stage.
Yeah.
So make sure you check it out. Maha Salvador, Atige, Kim Idol, they will all be there on Saturday, July 20th. And of course, Scott and I will be there on the 21st. You don't want to miss it.
It's going to be fun. I'm
Free
actually really
parking,
looking forward to it.
free admission, lots of food, and lots of entertainment. So Sarah, if you're free next week, you should totally check it out.
I know. I'm like listening about this event. I'm like, dude, I'll totally come.
Come check
Sounds
it out.
Great. Yeah.
Yes.
Music festivals are fun, and this one's free, so
That's awesome.
come on down.
We like free.
So we're back.
With Sara Wilkinson.
Another lovely song, yeah.
Hey.
I actually, like, as you're singing the song, I could visualize.
Yeah, the people.
And I'm like...
Right?
So, you know what's nice about that is, like...
It's my daily commute.
Yeah.
Like, people watching on the subway it's fun, especially when I find there are times when, like, say it's rush hour. Like, I don't normally have to, like, commute in rush hour. So the odd time that I do find myself having to go somewhere and it happens to be rush hour, it's like everyone else is, like, doing the thing they do every day, and they're kind of in a grind and they're in a mood about it, and they're also in a hurry, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not. So I'm able to sort of just stand there and kind of just
Take a step back.
just see the situation. Yeah.
Or after a concert when people are drunk and really tired and you get on the subway. That was me last week at the J-Lo concert. So you get to see all the people after the concert, just how hyped up they are, how exhausted they are. So it's been really fun.
So in that song, how accurate, like, was it, did you really, like, see all this in front of you and write it, or were there hypothetical situations, or how real was it?
Yeah, great question. They were real. The situations were all real. But I was teaching music along McQuaid in Brampton at the time.
Okay.
And I often, with my students, I had a few girls who were learning how to write songs, so we would write together. And I was having a brain fart, and I couldn't write the second verse. And my student at the time said, well, I read an article about this woman who's singing on the subway with her kids because her husband died and they have to pay, like, their ends meet. So I did that. And I put that in there. So she helped me write that verse. And yeah, I would constantly see professionals, like, talking on the phone. I'm like, oh, you're not even looking at where you are. And I did see some girls giggling at another girl, laughing at her and pointing. And, you know, we always see that crazy guy or girl walk in and, you know, and they're preaching to us, but we just think they're crazy. So we just turn off our ears, but we don't actually take the time to hear maybe what they're saying. We just decide they're crazy.
That was cool.
So they're real events.
Awesome. It's cool. It's like, and also the lyrics and also the tone of the song, just the feel, it really did sort of recreate that image of, like, the music fits the mood you'd have as you're kind of sort of sitting back and just, like,
So the next time Scott is on the subway and people watching,
I'm going to hear that song in my head.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
You can get it on Spotify and iTunes. You can listen to it.
there you go. You can listen to Speak.
Find
Yes, you
Speak
can.
from Sara Wilkinson on Spotify and do it. I want you guys to go on the subway and listen to that song that's happening, and I guarantee you it will make your commute more enjoyable, I think.
I hope. Yeah, that's the hope.
Very nice.
Well, speaking of commuting, we do have to put this conversation to an end. I'm so sorry, but we had such a great time with you, Sarah.
Yeah.
We do have one more segment, Scott. We do.
Oh, yes, we have one more segment. The segment is it's a segment that we allegedly do every week, although we haven't done it in a few.
Because I haven't been here with him, that's why.
But
I'm excited. What is it?
So basically, our audience, we have a fairly large Filipino audience. But there are fairly large. But there are quite a few. There are Filipinos, like say myself, for example, who are born and raised in the Western world, who don't necessarily grow up hearing or learning to speak the native Filipino language. And so I thought, how can we remedy this? How can we, as a show, fix this ill? And we came up with, we will learn one phrase of Filipino every week on a segment that I like to call Learn Filipino with Scott Dion Brown. So what's our phrase, Regine?
Because Sarah is here with her guitar, DJ Brian Pepper has suggested we learn how to say, I can play the guitar.
I can play the guitar.
Or I know how to play the guitar.
All right, and this is one that, Sarah and I will both be able to use regularly.
Yes, because you play I don't play the guitar.
Okay, great.
So it's marunong.
Marunong.
You don't really need to roll your R that hard. Marunong.
Marunong.
Akong. Mag. Gitara.
Now I'm going to take an educated guess and say that gitara
means guitar.
No way.
And I would be wrong. We were like, no, Scott.
No, it's not. It's not. It's actually, I know how to.
Okay, so marunong, akong, mag, gitara.
Yes.
So that means, theoretically, so wait, marunong, akong, mag, and then you can drop in another instrument there if you wanted to, right?
Piano.
Ukulele.
Marunong akong mag gitara.
There you go. We learned a phrase of Filipino. So you can go to the festival next week and go around to tell people.
And I'll tell people.
I know how to play the guitar.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And so that was Learn Filipino
With Scott
Dion Brown.
Yes.
Sarah, thank you for being here. This was a wonderful
Yes,
talk.
thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
It's been a while. We've been talking about it to have you on the show, and we finally made it happen. So, Sarah, where can they find you one more time?
So you can find me on Facebook and iTunes and Spotify and Instagram, all the things. It's Sara Wilkinson Music. You also find me on my website, sarawilkinsonmusic.com. And I am having quite my biggest show yet, August 15th. I'm performing at the Mod Club with my band. It's a part of RAW, Natural Born Artists. So it's going to be a huge artist showcase. You can get your tickets online and get them through me. It's going to be my biggest show yet. I'm really excited. So please come on out.
Sweet. August 15th at the Mod Club in downtown Toronto. Get your tickets now to see Sara Wilkinson.
Yes.
Live with the band.
Ooh,
So it'll be a different feel. It's a bit more soulful, a bit more
That's awesome.
in your face. So.
And make sure you get her album. Willingly.
It's on Spotify and iTunes. You can also purchase it through me in person or on my website, sarawilkinsonmusic.com.
You'll have some at the show probably?
I will, absolutely. And it's so funny. I spent so much money wrapping it in plastic wrap, and then I always open them so I can sign them.
Sign it. There you go.
So next time I'm not going to wrap it in plastic. Save the planet.
Yeah,
Get a signed copy.
Signed copy of Willingly.
Please come see me.
What was the date again? August
15th.
August 15th.
You got it.
At the Mod Club.
Regine, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at It's Regine Alaina or on Facebook, Regine Alaina. I post a lot on what I'm doing over the weekends with all these events because you guys know I never have a day off.
You work so hard.
Yes, I'm always at an event and half the time I'm with Scott. So Scott, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube. YouTube.com/Scott Dion Brown. I recently hit 1,000 subs thanks to all you wonderful people. And because of that, I'm working on my 1,000 sub special. It's going to be really epic. And also, Regine and I are going to be doing a duet song.
Thanks a lot, guys. You got him to 1,000.
So we're going to have to do Regine's voice. And that's coming up, too. We've just been busy. We haven't had time to finish it up.
But
we're
always doing something.
But it's coming.
Guys.
So please find me on YouTube.
Stop getting us for events, guys.
YouTube.com.
Stop getting us work.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I'm going to check it out.
Scott Dion Brown, people. And please follow the show on Facebook.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are all there. Yeah. And make sure you check us out next weekend, July 21st, because as we mentioned, we will not be here. We will be at the Von Fiesta Extravaganza. So we will see you there at 2 p.m. Sunday, July 21st.
That's right. All right. Well, once again, Sarah, thank you.
Yes,
you.
thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
It was nice. Can we close it off with a little bit of Rock and Railroad? Because they're probably like, what the heck are they talking about?
Oh my God, the Rock and Railroad.
Just play a little bit. We'll close it off with that.
I don't even know if I remember.
Na 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 na.
Right? Oh, I got. Can you believe it? I've got a ticket from my good friend Regine. Now we're gonna look to the next one. And na 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 na. I forget, but it goes on the Rockin' Railroad, and then it goes all aboard. It's time for
To leave now.
to leave now. All aboard. It's time to end the show, and we do actually do it that way. So
Time to end the show.
So thank you again, Sarah, for coming. We will see you all next week at the Vaughn Fiesta Extravaganza. Have yourself a wonderful Sunday fun day.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it for today, folks. To sit down with Scott Dion Brown. If you think 16 minutes is not enough, well, you better catch us again next week, because it is not just about music or pure talk. It's your weekend pastime. And witness the next worthy of your time episode of the program right here on Crosswave Radio. To sit down with Scott Dion Brown.